Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, dear lovely folks joining me here nice and early over at Marvel Snap Zone. Welcome back for an update. It's time. The patch is finally here. It has dropped just moments ago on mobile and on desktop, showing us that we have two card changes to talk about this time around. One straight buff and one kind of side grade to take a look at. We've also got some brand new features. Series drop has happened and is ready to go. And of course, Friend mode, Battle mode, now active and ready to go as well, and we'll take a look at exactly what that looks like in just a second as well. If you enjoy this type of content, do let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel for me by pressing the button down below. Leave a comment on your thoughts about this balance patch so far, and let me know how you feel about the changes Second Dinner has chosen to make. So starting things off from the top, yes, the series drop has happened. We've made many videos on this already, and many people were very aware it was coming, but a small subsection of cards from Series 5 and Series 4 have made their way down a whole level and should now be more accessible to you all around. It's going to be very interesting to watch people cracking their collector's caches and people that will want Series 3 complete now having some more cards to collect that should be easier to acquire in their collector's caches. All around, still think this is a pretty good move. Happy to have most of these cards being significantly more accessible to the majority of players, and very happy indeed to see She-Hulk and Absorbing Man making their way down into Series 3 for players who did not previously have access to those cards. Of course, Zabu now entering Series 5 as well, so there will in fact be a way to get hold of that card should you not have had it, but I wouldn't worry about that one all too much, to be honest. When you next log into your game, it will look a little something like this. Additional button now available in the bottom row for you to give a click. Looks like a gaming joystick. If we give it a press, you'll see that it takes us to this brand new mode screen inside of the client. Right now, the only mode you find in there is Friendly Battle. If we give it a click, you'll see this picture's nice and animated and stuff as well. You can hover over it and make the jet go up and down, but if we give it a click, it will take you through to this lobby here. You can now create or join a friendly battle with a friend. As always, select the deck that you wish to play from your many options. If you're unsure of how the rules might work in this situation, you can give a click to the question mark button here and it will walk you through all of the rules of a friendly game. And of course, if you choose to create a game or want to join a game, you can select accordingly and just have a code box to enter the code into, or when you create a code, it will generate one. On to the real meat and potatoes of the balance patch. We did actually have a tweet just yesterday from Glenn Jones, the principal game designer over at Second Dinner, who made it very clear that the new patch would include balance changes, but would not include a change to Silver Surfer or to Zabu. The reason cited for this was they started overperforming after they'd locked in changes a few weeks ago. Fortunately, however, they do now have the ability to adjust balance without the need for a new patch, and they're planning to adjust those cards in about a week. So if you are one of the people that is unhappy with the state of Marvel Snap right now, thanks to Zabu and Silver Surfer, you have about 7 days left of that experience before hopefully those cards are meaningfully adjusted. With that mentioned, let's take a look at the two changes that did arrive inside of this patch. First of all, we've got Wolverine here. Wolverine now a 2/2 that has an extra little bit of text added onto its ability. Every time that you destroy it, it will regenerate, just like before. Every time it's discarded, it will regenerate just like before. However, this time around, you will gain an additional +2 power to your Wolverine. So this one is very much mostly a buff. I think losing the original point of power is going to be very moot after the first time you destroy or interact with a Wolverine anyway, so definitely an upgrade all around, I think, this one. Do I think it changes very much on Wolverine's part? My initial thoughts, unfortunately, are kind of no. I think the first time you interact with this, it's now a 4 power 2 cost card, which on average is going to make it worse than like Cloak or Lizard or one of these kind of similar effects. And I think the second time you destroy it, you're probably jumping through more hoops than you would need to jump through just to add more stats to an Angela overall, I think. So, a little skeptical about this one making enough of a difference to make Wolverine see a significant amount of play, but definitely not a buff I'm unhappy to see. Really cool to see cards like this being addressed and given a little bit of extra juice, and hopefully I'm very wrong, and this one has the ability to take us by surprise on the ladder moving forward. The bigger of the two adjustments is in fact more of a side grade this time around. Leader has been nerfed, you say? I say this sheepishly because you'll see on screen right now, Leader now has 7 power. That is not a stat line I expected to see when I thought Leader was going to get changed. Now, what has happened to make that happen? Well, Leader now only copies the location to the right of him. Now, this is a change that we saw a lot of people suggesting. It was one that I suggested myself in our buffs and nerfs video, actually, to kind of one lane and one lane only. And I think that's a very elegant fix for what Leader is ideally going to be problematic at doing, but I did not expect its stats to be over doubled to compensate for that change. I am curious about whether or not this card ends up being a problem anymore. I think its main goal of being available counterplay for decks like She-Hulk, Deathwave, this kind of stuff, is kind of out the window. You can now circumvent playing around Leader, but that's a heck of a stat line increase. 7 power on a 6-cost card with a powerful positive effect is certainly nothing to turn your nose up at. I think we might very well see Leader's role in the game kind of changing, and the decks it fits into maybe being slightly different than before as well, but I would be shocked to see this card disappear from the metagame, as it still seems very playable to me overall, even if very different than its previous iteration. Let me know what you think all around. These buffs and nerfs are kind of very, very curious to me. I'm not settled on my opinions on either of these cards yet, but didn't really want to keep you waiting for a video about them. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you happy about this? Do you wish they'd done more? Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. If you haven't already, do pop that button for me as well while you're down there. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And I've been HowlingMines. You've been amazing. And this has been Marvel Snap Zone. Take care. I'll see you soon.